We are back in the backyard. It's another rip snorter of a day. The blossom's out, the birds are tweeting. It's a great day to try a new one, the Judo Rock Fakie. Okay, the Judo Rock Fakie. Let's see what we're aiming for. Come up the ramp in your regular stance. Rock the board. Front hand goes on the nose. Front foot kicks off to the side. That's your judo kick. Manage to get the front foot back on the board. Front hand comes off. Clear the wheels and rock back in and ride away. Oh my goodness. I was inspired to try this one by a video I saw of Jason Park doing the Judo Rock Fakie. Like any really good skater, he makes it look simple. I thought, yeah, I can do the Rock Fakie. I'm gonna give that one a go. In the back of my head, alarm bells are ringing. I was thinking, that looks easy, that's probably pretty hard. I threw a few of these around the other night and oh my goodness, it is terrifying. Coming up, even getting your front hand on the board and trying to come back in from such a committed position is terrifying. I didn't get anywhere near getting my front foot off and kicking it round. I've got no idea how I'm going to do that, but I have got a strategic approach I'm going to go for. So my Rock Fakie is fairly good now. I've done 2 videos on how to Rock Fakie and I feel it's quite a comfortable manoeuvre for me. Coming up, I think the first stage I'm going to go for is just to try and touch the nose and come back in. That'll be stage 1. Stage 2 would be to touch the nose and put some pressure on and try and lift the pressure off of my front foot. Stage number 3 is going to come up, put my hand on the nose and then try and kick the front foot out just a little bit over the rail and bring it back in. And then from that point, what I hope to do is develop this kick so it's more and more radical, straight-legged out to the side, and then bring it back in. I foresee carnage. A couple of my key worries are, number 1, because you're standing more on top of the board with really bent legs, coming back in, going to be quite likely to be too far over this way and the whole board loop out. Board flies down there over the fence. Oh my gosh. Hip hits the top. Nasty. That's the worst case scenario, I think. The other one is where you commit too far back in, catch the wheels, and then fly down onto the flat bottom. I think if anything, I'm going to opt for this one just so that I can do a cat's spin and try and knee slide out. If I can develop a safe bail for this where I'm sort of knee sliding out as opposed to slamming every time, I think it will give me confidence to be a little bit more adventurous with getting the leg off. I think to start with, I'm just going to do some Rock Fakies, then I'm going to try and get my hand on the nose and then I'm going to go through those stages to see if I can eventually get a good Judo Rock Fakie. Let's see how we get on. Okay, warming up with a few Rock Fakies there. Feels pretty consistent. I'm going to start now going up and seeing if I can grab the nose. I think my strategy for here is to try and deck the board out, get on top of the board, give myself a little bit more time to grab that nose. Okay, a few early attempts at grabbing the nose. Whew, it's a long way down there. Feels super committed. Managed to grab the nose in the end, but on that fully decked out stance, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be able to bring it back in from there. It just seems super hard to commit back in. I'm wondering if I should change it so that the coping comes to the middle of the board rather to the back wheels so that I can then rock it and that motion will hopefully bring my body back in so I can come back in. What I'm going to go for now is a nose grab and making it back in. Okay, got the nose grab and managed to come back in. I'm finding that rhythm of rocking the board, hitting the front wheels on the deck and then coming back in, that's helping my body come back into position. Obviously my knees are way more bent than my usual rock fakie, so I'm finding it super committed coming back in, and just the muscle memory of my usual rock fakie is making me want to stand up when I come back in, which isn't helping. So I need to stay compact all the way through the maneuver. Next up, now I've got the nose grab, I'm going to try and put some weight on that nose and lift the front foot off the deck momentarily. I think this is going to feel a lot different because all my weight's going to be on 2 points, the front hand and the back foot. Oh my gosh. Let's give it a go. Okay, that's pretty hard. The temptation is to try and get over the board to give yourself time to get your front foot off. I'm getting it about ½ an inch off at the moment. But from that position of being right on top of the coping, there's no real way to come back in. It's sort of like almost doing a reverse drop in. So I'm going to try and get this timing of the rock on the coping, see if I can just get my foot up and then at the same time come back in. Wish me luck. Okay, seem to have stumbled on a good bail. As you come up, commit backwards. If it's not going so well, you can just jump like a cat, spin round. If you're wearing pads, you can knee slide. I dare say if you're not wearing pads, you can probably run out of it, but it's all about that quick cat spin backwards if you're overcommitted. That's the weight off the foot phase completed. Coming back in, not very convincing at all. As I'm coming back in, I'm nearly looping out. It's just because my body isn't falling back enough before I do the rock. So I need to just pause a little longer before I try and rock. Also, these wheels are nearly hitting the coping, which is very worrying. So I just need to make sure those clear up. The remedy is going to be more bent knees, I think. More bent back knee, get down lower. This time I'm going to start going for a few tiny judo kicks to the side. See if I can bring one of those back in. Okay, a bit of progress there. Whew. Some of the smallest judo kicks ever recorded, but starting to get the front foot off and getting a feel for coming back in. The timing is up, hand grab, rock, front wheels hit, foot off, and then when the foot comes back on, hopefully you're going backwards. It's that going backwards with the foot off and trying to get it back on that's the committed part, and then there's a real need to get the front knee up to clear it as you come back in. I'm going to try and do some clean ones. Okay, so rocking those wheels forward so they hit the deck is really helping. Provides a bit of grip, so when I try and kick out, the board doesn't pivot round and come on a wonk. That grip on the coping, with the coping in the middle of the board, wheels on the deck, I can kick out and then come back in. My kick is still really small. I want to get it so that it's right out, styled out. I think I need to get lower. I'm also finding to get this kick, it's not really a kick forwards, it's more of a kick by pivoting the hips, and that's, I think, how you're going to get a good judo out to the side with that spin. I'm going to keep my back knee as bent as I can, see if I can allow for that, keeping the front wheel jammed on the deck so that the board doesn't spin off axis as I do it. Okay, that one felt good. Really finding the rotation. If you kick out hard, sending the board, you'll probably hear the front wheels squeaking on the deck that time because they really wanted to pivot the board round. So having that pressure on the front hand and the front wheels on the deck is really helping get the foot out. Only issue is to get it up that far, it's causing a bit more stall than I'd like. I want this to be a flowing up rock with the kick and then back in. Obviously that's fraught with danger to get it that fluid, but I'm going to keep on practicing until I can get a really good kick out to the side with not too much stall on top. Swivel these hips to try and get the leg to stick out the side more. It needs to come across. I have to do more yoga to keep that leg straight, I think. That position there is really contorted, but I want to get it more out to the side. A little bit of a kick. Success! I think I can claim one of those. The thing that I've changed is as I come up, I'm just looking round to where I want to kick. Before I was keeping my hand on and looking at my hand, and that closes the shoulders off. There's no way you can pivot round. So I was just opening up the shoulders, kicking, and then looking back at the hand to come back in. Obviously these front wheels need to be locked, otherwise the board, as you open up the shoulders, will pivot off axis. But due to my unflexible legs, I'm finding that's really helping getting the kick. I'm going to do some more. Feels better. The thing I changed is I just bending my back knee down a lot more. That's keeping my body inside the ramp so I don't need to stall on top, and I can kick the leg out to the side with the bent back knee and then bring her back in one flowing motion. I'm going to do some more. Okay, overcooked it that time, landed on my arse on the board, woo, managed to make it back down safely. Not sure you could call that a trick. In a bizarre way, that arse slide is actually a pretty safe way to get out of overcooking the leg kick. It seems to throw you straight into it and you come back down. Okay, that's it for the Judo Rock Fakie. Whew, that was a lot of fun. Let's run through the key points. So coming up the ramp, bend your knees a little bit, get up into the rock, grab the nose over the front and then bend your back knee as much as you can. Pressure goes between those two and then kick the leg out to the side by swiveling the hips. You can also look round to where you want the end of the foot to kick to. From that position there, it's a case of coming back in, so wait for your body to commit backwards. The more back knee you can bend, the more committed you'll be back automatically. And I found that bending of the back knee to be a real key point to getting them remotely fluid. I've still got a long way to go to get them really nice. I want to get up so that the foot's off almost as I rock and then back on almost as I come back in, so it's just one fluid movement. But I think I've got some good kicks out to the side there and some fairly committed rolls back in. A couple of ways to bail from this. Number one, to pivot round like a cat as you come back in a knee slide. If you overcook the kick out to the side, it's quite a novel one. It spins your body round, get your ass to land on the board, and you can just come back down the transition. Quite fun. It's like being a kid all over again. Not half, I luckily didn't do the loop out, but I nearly did a couple of times, and also a couple of times I nearly caught these wheels. So I think this bending of the back knee was crucial to get the body to be in the right position, nice and low, and then the kick out to the side, swivel of the hips and look. That was a key point for that. I've really enjoyed having a go at the Judo rock fakie. Jason also does a sliding version of this. So a Judo kick slider. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's run through it in real time then. So coming up the ramp, bend your knees. Bend your back knee as you get the board into the rock. Front hand on, grabs. Bend the back knee right down as you kick the leg out to the side. Look with the head to where you want to kick. Bring the foot back onto the board. Start to commit back in. Pressure on the back foot. Kick the wheels over and ride away. I'm going to keep going with these. One day I might give the crazy board slide judo kick a go. Whew. As ever, my name's been John Bishop and I'm a middle-aged guy learning how to skate.